Justin, how are you today?
Doing good, man. I'm excited to be back, excited to keep it rolling. Hit a couple of college hoops bets last night on the Mountain West side. I wish there was some Mountain West games tonight because that's kind of where I make my killing. But I'm having a good time. How's the Senior Bowl, man?
Senior Bowl was fun. I miss being on bets. I was giving out what really sucks from a betting perspective. I was giving out after practice one, Malik Willis at plus 10,000 to go first overall. I was like, you should get in on this, but we're in Alabama, so I can't get in on that. But we're flying out of Louisiana. It's much cheaper to fly into New Orleans, rent a car, drive to Mobile, and then. So in Louisiana, where I landed, I could have placed this bet, but I didn't think of it because, of course, I didn't see the first practice. By yesterday, he was down to plus 3,500. Now he's down to plus 2,500 with Kenny Pickett going from plus 3,500 all the way to plus 5,000 now. So I really missed my opportunity by not being in a gambling state. But big game for my soccer team. Local derby, biggest Milan derby in years. They win it. I put more units than I should have, but it paid off. And then took the over in the Pro Bowl. The Pro Bowl had been trending towards the under. I hammered the over, boosted it, but it was also DK special, so I could go over the max bet limit on that one. Of course, I didn't get the boost, but it was still even odds. That was majestic. So I got back. Only made a couple bets this weekend while I stayed with family or, focused on the family a little more after being out of town. But nothing but winners. Feeling great and feeling great having you on because you are a fan favorite, as I'm about to say in this tweet that I'll finally get out. Your boy's having technical issues left and right. Our webcam wasn't there. Also, it would appear we've got a bit of a wider angle, more of a close-up for the people. So that's fun. You get more of a look to my background. Good for you guys. Show history here, Yaya. And then Yaya, who's here, I'd love to get caught up a little bit on what I missed last week, but I'm really excited to have you, Justin, on your fan favorite because you give out winners. This is really your season with college hoops in the air. You talked about mining the Mountain West. I did jump on the Rams. Jumping on the Rams live has also been a real money getter. Now I know that they have let us down a couple times on those, but still, live betting the Rams has been excellent as well. Yaya, do you have it in you to jump on and recap me on any highlights from last week? Were there some great quotes?
No great quotes, but we did get a lot of everybody's Super Bowl pick that was on the show. So everybody gave one Super Bowl pick, and I'm going to have that video up either today or tomorrow for you in RK.
Oh, wow. That's incredible. Love that. Then I won't spoil it. Was Justin on there? Can I get his Super Bowl pick?
You can get it again.
I'm rocking with the Bengals, man. I'm all about Joe Burrow right now. We'll see. I might be getting caught up in the hype a little bit, but I'm excited to see how it turns out. And more than anything, I'm just glad to not have to watch the Chiefs or Brady in the Super Bowl again. I appreciate what they did. It's nice to have something a little different.
He's
also, Hank went pretty heavy on the Olympics on his last show.
Oh, wow.
So we got a lot of Olympic picks, and then we also had Spencer do a whole golf day for the Pebble Beach Pro-Am.
Oh, wow. Do we know how those picks went?
According to Hank, he made a lot of money.
Okay, love to hear it.
It was a nice mix of people, everybody coming in this week. We had a little bit of everything.
Fantastic. Good job by Yuya here. Love it. As long as the homies and our clients and constituents, as I call our terrific audience, are making money, I'm a happy camper no matter where I am or where I've been. Let's get into it. A terrific first segment because Justin Michael, the consummate professional, he gives out winners. He gave out a big 3 as anyone would coming onto the show and prepping. So let's start with that. And then I did not come prep. So I get a draft big board, which is going to be even more fun because I get to consult Justin while I go through that. So yeah, let's get into it.
All right, let's dive into it. Hit 2 of 3 when I was on the show last week on the big 3. I think 4 of 6 total on college hoops bets.
Great.
We did end up talking ourselves into a couple that even after the show, I was like, I shouldn't have let Hank talk me into that, and it didn't work out. But that's okay. You know,
we the best of us.
Exactly. You know, we got to take credit for the wins and the losses. But
yes.
First things first, I like the over in the Kansas-Texas Tech game. It's actually Kansas-Texas, excuse me. Texas scores about 68 points per game. Kansas scores about 80. The Longhorns do defend really well at home, but I don't know. I like Kansas to score 70 on this. And then as long as at home Texas scores within 5 points of their average, you're going to hit it pretty easily. It seems like easy money to me. So I don't know. Maybe there's some cheese there that I'm missing. Arizona, they're on the road at Arizona State.
Yes.
12 points is a pretty big spread for a rivalry game on the road.
Yeah.
But Arizona is like one of the best defensive teams in the country. The metrics love them. They're playing some of the best basketball. And Arizona State coming off of kind of a fluky triple overtime win over UCLA, who's a fraud, by the way. I've been on a UCLA as a fraud train all year.
That's true. That's true.
I like Arizona to win this one. It's just that classic scenario, ASU riding high. They're not that good of a team. They just pulled off the big upset. Now you have a big rivalry game. I just feel like the talent gap is too big in this one. Because of that, I really like the Wildcats to cover. And then finally, we've got Southern Utah going to Montana. Montana's actually 10-0 at home, so this pick feels a little bit counterintuitive. But Southern Utah is really hot. They've won 4 in a row. They average about 80 points a game offensively. They've just got a ton of shooters. They're a team that's made me a lot of money. And Montana, they're like 1-4 in their last 5. Wow. I just feel like that home streak is going to come to an end tonight against a hot Southern Utah team that's won 4 in a row.
What a spread. I'll say KU Texas, that's already moved to 132. So the odds makers and the money with you, because that is rising. I assume that 1 point doesn't really change anything for you. You said you want 70 from
I'd
Kansas.
take it even a couple more up. I'd be okay.
Exactly. Arizona State, Arizona, really interesting. I was with a couple PHNX guys down in Mobile at the casino in New Orleans, faded Arizona State while they were up big on USC to watch another great win for me. USC storm back. Of course, Arizona State probably should have beat USC. They just couldn't get a bucket in the final 10 minutes, but they were right there. While Arizona just beat the Trojans, close game until the end, pulled away by 10. And then Arizona had beat UCLA earlier in the week, and Arizona State just upset UCLA. So both teams, common opponents. Both teams, I think, playing some of their best basketball, which is scary from Arizona State because they've got some talent. So I don't know. I might fade you on that. I might like the under as well. The under maybe is the play there.
I do like the under. Yeah, I mean, I don't see how Arizona State's consistently going to score. We had a question here from Austin Novak. Which two I like the most? I like the over in the KU Texas game. Like I said, I like that bet the most. I really like Kansas to win that game in general. So if you're talking about like if you just want 2 picks, I'm pretty confident on. I feel like KU -1.5 and then the over in that are 2 picks you could parlay together, get it at plus money. I like the value there. Out of this big 3, probably Southern Utah would be the other one. But again, they're on the road as well. Montana, they are undefeated at home. So I want that to be clear. You know, it's an upset pick for sure that I'm going for.
That's right. The plus there is there for a reason. Arizona State's
those games tonight.
Yeah, unfortunately. Arizona State's total set at 64.5. That's a
Oh,
pretty
that's
well
like
set
right
line.
borderline.
Yeah,
It's so perfectly
it's a
set.
really well set line.
I would take the under just because I think Arizona's defense is that good, but that's a scary proposition at home because
Right.
I mean, anyone that watches college basketball, I mean, they just have to get hot for a couple minutes, hit a couple of threes, you get the crowd behind you. You don't even have to be that good to score 65.
Right. Yeah, for sure. Okay, love that. I'll be monitoring those games closely. All of those starting around the same time, right around 7 p.m., which is fun too. All right, yeah. Let's see what you got in store for me. I've been winning my bets, but I know you're on your stuff. So let's get into this big board. Let's see what we're feeling. All right, Kyle Lowry, thick point guard. Definitely worthy. I see, in fact, a few thick knights of the round table here. So good on you, Yaya. That seems to be the theme here. Kyle Lowry over 13.5 points. They are taking on the Wiz in that one. Then we have PJ Tucker over 5.5 rebounds at plus 100. We've got the Hornets money line taking on the Raptors. Home dog action here with LaMelo Ball over 2.5 threes in that same game. We also have Plum Dog. That, of course, is Mason Plumlee over 8.5 rebounds at minus 125. Josh Giddey, wow, the phenomenal rookie out of Australia for the Oklahoma City Thunder. They take on the Warriors over 15.5. Wow. Clay over 2.5 3-pointers, a classic. And then the Bulls money line taking on the Suns. The Suns, of course, have hit a bit of a skid lately.
Chicago's pretty good for a plus 260. I get Phoenix is
home dog,
one of the best teams, but yeah, at home to get that kind of value, that's intriguing.
That's really intriguing. I'm going to go to Stats Hub and see what kind of injuries we have here, because that would be my only concern. The first thing that's going to jump out at me here is Clay over 2.5 threes. Gideon, the boys in town, do the Thunder stay in it long enough for Clay to be out there? That's the question. But I'm going to trust this and go for it there. I'm not seeing. I've got Vooch, DeRozan. Okay, I am taking the Bulls. Obviously, big dog, but it's a home dog, and this feels like a fun Monday night
Caruso
to get in on
back, didn't they?
Yes, yeah, that sounds right.
And
but
they definitely defensively, like, they take a step back without him out there, but
100%. And I mean, I think to some extent the odds makers are probably baking in. The Suns have lost a couple here, in February after being on an absolute tear. They're going to be extra motivated to kind of right those wrongs, after losing 2 of their last 4, is it? No, not even. Jeez. Oh man, they're just killers. Okay. Well, there you go. Give me the Giddey prop. I'm riding with Austin Novak, and give me the Bulls. So Clay, Bulls, Giddey. Look, it's the bottom 3 here. That's such an easy copy paste for you. Right there on the graphic. Could not have made that better.
I think you took the best 3 value wise. Giddey's got a chance. I mean, the Thunder, they're scrappy a little bit. Young guy going against the Warriors. I could see him, hit a couple of shots and be in it. Try and go shot for shot with these guys. Could be an interesting one. But the Bulls, I'm a little bit worried that's my anti-Phoenix coming out after the playoffs last year. But the Bulls are legit. I mean, it's not like we're taking one of the best teams in the East.
It's the 2 top seeds in the 2 conferences, really.
So at that point, I think we're making the right pick, right? Like 2 really good teams. There's way more value in taking Chicago than there is in taking Phoenix.
Yeah. God, what's the spread?
What are we missing though?
Well, I think what we're missing is that the Suns are extra motivated to play against a team that, yes, top seed in the East, but still like 10 wins lesser than them, 8-point spread. Screw it. Give it to us. Plus 260. Look at that. Look at that turnaround.
Well, I'm
Play
riding
over
with you.
2.5
I'm about
threes.
to place it myself. So
Yeah.
I'm-
Also, our big threes, parlayable, a parlayable big six. You rarely see that. And
you want to get real
actually,
crazy.
yeah, while I punch that in to tell you guys what the odds would be, I've already got Southern Utah on my bet slip, so we're getting real close to having this already. I'm gonna let you, Justin, because you've done this read much more often than me. We've established this already. Tell the people what you get at DraftKings Sportsbook, the number one double-fisted king of sportsbooks in all the land, universe, galaxy, metaverse, everywhere in between those places. They are simply unrivaled. They gave me like free money when I was in Louisiana. I don't even know what was happening. Like there's money got added to my account while I could have made bets. They are the best.
They're for the people. And with Super Bowl 56 coming up, you can get 56 to 1 odds on either team. Bet $5, get 280 in free bets if your team wins. I mean, that's absurd value, guys. 56 to 1. All you got to do, pick the winner. You don't even got to get a spread right. Just take the money line and get yourself 280 in free bets. If you're not a new customer, that's okay. You can experience Super Bowl 56 with the same game parlay or dive into some of the props that they've got. It's going to be a ton of fun. The more legs you add on that same game parlay, the more that you can win. DraftKings is safe, secure, and reliable. Best of all, deposit your cash whenever you want. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app now. Use the promo code DNVR. Get 56-1 odds on either team. Bet $5. Win $280 when your team wins. Again, with the promo code DNVR, DraftKings Sportsbook. Must be 21 or older. Colorado only. New customers only. Restrictions to apply. See DraftKings.com/sportsbook for details. And if you have a gambling problem, call 1-800-522-4700. I think somebody had a question. I think it was Zach Castro there, asking about the big three. The over is actually KU Texas. KU minus 1.5 is just one that I threw out for you guys. Southern Utah money line, and then I took Arizona to cover the 12-point spread against Arizona State. Dre was fading me on that one though, and I don't blame him. It's a rivalry game on the road. I don't believe in Bobby Hurley.
Yeah, no one believes on Bobby Hurley. Though he was a guest on PHNX Sun Devil, so you love to see that. Okay, Bulls Clay. Oh, I'm missing my Josh Giddey prop. That's what's going on here. And while I do that, let's go to our dilemma of the day, because again, we've got Justin Michael on. We're going to look into what college hoops futures we want to jump on now before the madness begins, before your little brother and your wife's colleagues and, everyone in between and your grandpa, everyone's filled out a bracket. All of a sudden, they are geniuses. They are college basketball savants, having watched literally 2 highlights in the second half of one game all season. I'm sure this happens to you all the time, Justin, that people coming at you with their hot takes when it's like you have no clue what you're talking about. But that's why we've got the expert. That's why you guys tune in to DNVR Bets, so we can get you what's hot on the stove right now before everyone else gets in on it. I can, it's a choose your own adventure big 5 parlay.
Okay.
I know I'm all over the place. So back a second, because of course, Giddey and Klay Thompson, same game, they overlap.
Yeah.
I'll take the Giddey prop because that's better value. And that puts us at plus 5,696. Not bad. So, okay. That's out the way. I'm just going to place this bet so that that's taken care of. Of course, for my password, that kind of day. All right, let's do college futures. What's hot on the conference winners here for you, Justin? These are regular season conference winners, not the conference tourney winners. Let's start with your Mountain West, where Boise State in the lead on the standings at minus 135. Ahead of Wyoming at plus 145 and Colorado State plus 1,000. Should be noted, the Rams still get to play Boise twice. So that could be a big one here. How do you see this shaking out?
I mean, I already have a couple of bets on CSU to win the Mountain West, but I'm thinking about going in on it for a fourth time here, just since the value's so jacked up now at plus 1,000. I like Wyoming at plus 145 a lot better than I like Boise State at minus 135. And a lot of that is just the value. All these teams still have to play each other. Like you said, CSU, they have to play Boise State twice. Wyoming already has a win over Boise State, so you're getting that plus money there, but they do have to go to Boise as well. So it's going to be really interesting to see kind of how this shakes out. Boise definitely is the favorite, only one conference loss, but I also kind of just feel like even with the favorable home stretch here, they got 6 home games still, whereas like CSU only has 3. I believe Wyoming has 4. San Diego State has 4, I believe.
Right.
I don't know. I just feel like eventually having to play all these teams again, it's going to kind of mellow out. So I would tend to go with Wyoming or Colorado State at plus 1,000 is really tasty because I know they've had a bit of a rough stretch here, but they still got 2 games against Boise. They've got a home game against Wyoming still. They travel to Utah State, so plenty of opportunities to pick up quality wins there. But right now, I would probably throw some money down on Wyoming at plus 145.
Where'd you have the Broncos ranked preseason?
I had them fifth in the league, so they're definitely better than most.
I mean, they've been a surprise, though, is my point.
Yeah, well, they lost some guys, and so I don't think anybody really expected them to be this hot in league play. I will say I was dead on Wyoming and Fresno State, so that makes me feel kind of good. Both of those teams were taken really low in the media poll, and it was confusing to me because I was just like, when you look at, Fresno State and Orlando Robinson, one of the best players in the conference. Wyoming played really great down the stretch. They brought back Maldonado. They brought in some JUCO shooters. I mean, it's a deep team. I'm really intrigued to see what the Mountain West tournament odds end up being after all the seedings get shaked out, because there's going to be like, you're going to be able to get like a Utah State at like plus 1,400 or something, and they are damn well good enough to win the tournament. Like, it's just going to be a really weird event.
Who would your favorite be in that scenario? I mean, we got to see this last key month shake out, obviously.
Yeah, so much of it is going to come down to seeding and like kind of, who can get that favorable draw in the first round and doesn't have to play 2 really good teams right off the bat. But right now, I like Wyoming and Colorado State the most, just because I think they're the most versatile offensively, and I think that they've both improved enough defensively to hang in it. I just like their ability to score with Roddy and Stevens and Maldonado and EK a lot better than what Boise State or especially San Diego State. I mean, we saw in that CSU game, they didn't go north of 30 points until like 9 minutes and 58 seconds left in the game. Like, they just don't have a point guard, and it's really hard for them to score at times.
Yeah. Where do you see some of the other conference races landing? Big Ten is one of the few where you can actually get everyone at plus odds here. With Purdue the favorite at plus 120, but Illinois is right there at plus 190. And then Michigan State, Wisconsin, all within plus 1,000. How do you see that?
Yeah, with Michigan State sitting there at plus 450, that's pretty intriguing. Obviously, Mr. March, that's kind of the brand with Michigan State, that they come on strong. Purdue, I have the hardest time gauging, because I watch them some nights and I'm like, yeah, that team is good enough to win it all. And then I watch them other nights and I'm like, I'm not even sure they're a top 5 team in the Big Ten, which is, it's just been a really weird. They have won 5 straight. Illinois has also won 4 straight. Oh, man. I probably lean at Illinois at plus 190, just because I think Michigan State they've got probably too much gap to make up, but they're only a game back standing. So at plus 450, that value is pretty enticing.
That's the thing I see about these. When you look at the standings, it kind of feels like some overreactions here by the odds makers with like not
it's
the
just
bulk
drastic fluctuation. Like it's like CSU. Like I get why they've dropped. I get why they're no longer the betting favorite, but they're plus 1,000 now because they
right.
lost in Laramie and overtime. Like, come on.
I mean, especially when you get to play Boise, who like we'll see, we'll see Boise in these two games. That could just be not the most favorable matchup, Wow. Okay. And all right, so we're in on the Illini. You're in on Kansas, I presume, to win the Big 12. That's like
yeah. I mean, I had them preseason, and then about 3 weeks in, I put like 2 or 3 units on them to win the Big 12 because it was just clear that they're the most complete team in the conference. Texas Tech and Texas are both tough, man. Like they're especially at home. Like if you wouldn't want to have to go up against them, but Kansas, they're too versatile offensively and they're just explosive, man. They go on these runs where they score, like a 15-2 run in 3 minutes, and all of a sudden the game's just over.
Right. Yeah, I mean, even Houston, I get that Houston's far superior. They're ranked 6th in the country. They only have 2 losses all year, but they're minus 12,000 over SMU. That's just 2 games back, And you get them at plus 800.
Houston's definitely the best team in the league.
No doubt.
I've said this a couple of times, though. I don't understand like where this top 10 Houston hype is coming. Like, again, I know they went on the Final Four run last year,
right,
but
right.
I mean, you look at their record; they haven't beaten anyone. So at plus 800, like I could totally see them have a bad week, and then all of a sudden SMU and them are tied, and it's just going to come down to the last couple of weeks. So the value at plus 800 is enticing to only be 2 games back.
In the ACC, Wake has as many wins as Duke, 19-3 versus 19-5 for the Demon Deacons. They're exactly 1 game behind the Blue Devils. Wake to win the ACC is plus 1,800.
How are their odds worse than North Carolina, who's like 0-8 in quad 1 games?
And talk to any North Carolina fan, and they just like they
terrible.
would rather you take their eyes out with a spoon than have to watch another minute of this horrendous basketball program, as they put it. Their words, not mine. Yeah, just I mean, I don't know.
God, you can get Virginia at plus 6,000. I mean, I don't think it's going to happen, but still.
Right. Like, I wouldn't throw that away. Okay, so let's look at the Pac-12 then. If this is how the odds makers are going to be, we all love Arizona. I frankly just love Arizona. They're really good. But again, Oregon, UCLA, just a game and a half back, plus 400 for the Bruins, plus 900 for the Ducks.
I like Oregon at plus 900, especially. I would feel a little bit hypocritical saying anything about UCLA after the amount of times I've slandered them this season. But at plus 400, I mean, it's certainly better value. Juzang's one of the better scorers in the country. When they get going, they can be dangerous. But I feel like Oregon has a better home court advantage than UCLA does. I don't know. To me, I'm pretty confident Arizona is going to run away with the Pac-12. But if you did want to find a value pick, I would say Oregon at plus 900 is at least, we're sprinkling.
It's crazy that USC now being 2.5 games back is at plus 3,000 because that's a team with a ton of talent. Though they just lost. So those head-to-head and maybe not quite enough bucket getters in the half court when it matters at the end of games,
And last year, obviously having Evan Mobley, they were so dominant defensively in the paint. I mean, it would be one of those games where he could just have like 10 blocks and it wouldn't even be that surprising. Like it was just
right. Well, and we're seeing the impact that kid has on winning right now in the pros a year after, where Cleveland's like a top 4 seed now.
He's the best defensive rookie I've seen as a big man. The last decade.
Tim Duncan probably. But
yeah, you
I
probably
mean,
he's like Kevin Garnett-esque. The dude's a freak.
right. And Garnett comes in the league as a high schooler, so that took a couple years before his impact was at that level. It's a great point. As a true rookie, yeah.
Cleveland's fun. I'm kind of rooting for them.
Oh yeah, how could you not? And it's fun that George Karl's in on them too. Let's get it. Rookie of the year, man, minus 350. I mean, there's just no messing with that. Early college football futures, Justin, Alabama
shout out
plus
this.
225.
Last time, looks like Zach hopped in on Wyoming when I gave it out at plus 1,500. I told people, man, they were like, Wyoming was picked to finish like 8th in the league, and I don't have a vote. And people that listen to the podcast know that it's a sensitive topic for me because I've covered the league longer than just about anybody around the conference at this point.
Yeah.
But I was just like, I don't know what you guys are watching. And now everybody's in on Wyoming. They're America's sweetheart. Rothstein's tweeting about them and all these people. But yeah, I don't want it to happen, obviously, because I'm a Ram guy. But if they win and Zach Castro ends up getting the payday, I'll be very happy.
Oh, I'll be happy. Zach's like a big Justin guy. Alabama plus 225 to win the Natty. We're talking college football now. How about USC though? Plus 2,500. Caleb Williams. I'll get this right. Lincoln Riley. Obviously, they took all of Oklahoma's top recruits. Took
CU's best offensive player.
Even some of CU's best players. So, yeah, any leanings on these college
I'll
football
say this.
futures?
I mean, USC, at least on paper, is by far going to be like the favorite, obviously, going into the Pac-12. We'll see how fast you can implement and kind of flip everything around. But the fact that he gets to bring his quarterback over that changes everything. That's the difference between winning 8 or 9 games and 10 or 11 games, probably, if you're USC.
100%.
So the value there, you got to love it. Again, I do think Bama is going to be the favorite, which, it makes sense. You got Bryce Young coming back. Yeah. I take it with a grain of salt because I'm a Bama guy. I felt like Bama was a year early this year and that legitimately they outperformed their ceiling. We'll see. Mm-hmm. But especially when some of those guys went down, I think they're definitely the best team. But what's Ohio State right now?
Plus 550, third behind Alabama and Georgia.
And that offense is going to be nasty.
Nasty. That wide receiver quarterback combo is going to be close to unbeatable. Oklahoma State's bringing back Sanders. They bring back a lot of guys. You get them at plus 4,000. Obviously, Gundy's going to Gundy, so that's not going to go all the way. The most you can hope for is getting past Thanksgiving, and that all of a sudden plus 4,000 becoming like plus 400, and hoping you get
you might be able to snipe a buyout out of it. Yeah,
right. And same argument. I love Utah plus 4,000, and again, you're going to get some extra value because of Caleb Willie in
That's
in
another
USC.
Team that was a year early, though.
100%.
I know they are losing Devin Lloyd, and that's going to impact the defense, but offensively,
100%.
Especially, they were a year early.
Right. And those Pac-12 teams, they go out to Utah and they wilt like a little flower. They just can't handle it once they go
Drops
out
below
there.
50 degrees and
the altitude.
Yeah,
no, it's a deadly combo. You think maybe we could figure that one out in this state in college football, but maybe Jay Norvell, friend of the program, because we got to see him after the flight, so we can say that now. Chatted with Jay a little bit, of course, out in Mobile supporting his guys. Okay, cool. I'm happy with that. I can live with that. I think we talk any more college football futures, we're gonna get into.
I'm gonna start putting money down, and I'm gonna get in trouble.
Yeah, we can't do that. That's Justin Michael. Those are his college football, college hoops futures and football. We gave you a choose your own adventure parlayable big 5, but a reminder of Justin's big 3, Arizona minus 12, Southern Utah money line. They are road dogs, right? Taking on the Grizz in Montana. And then you had the over 131 Kansas taking on Texas. Texas at home. Justin's thinking they'll get a few more points to get us that over. And I, off my draft big board, took Josh Giddey over 15.5 points. You get that at plus value. The upset of the night, Bulls beating the Suns outright, home dogs. May have to sprinkle the +8 as well, just to be a little safer. And a classic since his return, Klay Thompson over 2.5 3-pointers made. That's big. That's us. We're not called Big Bets Bonanza or whatever I was thinking when I started saying big. That is our big three. He's Justin Michael. I'm Andre Simone. Best of luck tonight. We'll be back tomorrow. Adios.